What's up, Red Raider Nation? Welcome to episode 26 of the Loner Podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm your host, Jonah J. Train Young. With me, as always, my good friend Nathan. So long to the goat, Zuniga. What's up, Zuni?
What? So long to the goat. Yeah, I read that one. I'm good, by the way. Thank you, Jonah. Actually, I'm nice and warm in Lubbock. It's about 50 something out here, guys. So
Oh, really?
sucks
Is it
to
really?
suck, I guess. It is right now. It's like 52, 53 right now. Yeah, the sun's out and everything. It's a good time. Not gonna lie.
Well,
So
lucky,
yeah,
man. Lucky.
lucky. Hey, we had snow last week, man. I didn't want to double down. I know they said do it in Vegas and blackjack, but no,
Not with
we're not.
weather, man. Not with weather.
Not with weather. Nah.
We
I
just
already
had
had
our
my little glimpse of snow, so yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
And also joining us today, we got Mr. 2-0 himself, Nesto Martinez. What's up, Nesto?
hey man, what's up? I'm just out here freezing, but it's all good.
I got you, man. This is the first time I've gotten both of y'all on the podcast in quite some time. I don't remember what the last episode was, but it's been quite some time since I got both of y'all on here. So yeah, it's
Eh,
good to finally have both of y'all back here on Lone Raider Podcast. For this week's episode, we're talking some wins finally for Texas Tech basketball. We're gonna break down our 2023 football schedule that just released a couple days ago, and talk a little bit about the Super Bowl matchup this upcoming in a couple of weeks here, and dish out a good vibe of the week. Before we get into that, though, I want to remind y'all to go follow our social media accounts. That's at Loner Pod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can stream us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and now on YouTube. Regardless of where you're listening or watching, welcome to your sixth favorite Texas Tech Sports Podcast, brought to you by the fans that give some dams. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into some news updates for this past week. So National Signing Day, even though early signing day really has taken over the primary focus of players, whether they want to commit or signing with certain schools, it's really taking the precedence. But National Signing Day is on February, I believe, 1st this past year, just yesterday. So 2023 signing day is officially in the books. Texas Tech finished with the 26th ranked recruiting class, just outside the top 25 in the country. We did gain one signee from 3-star defensive lineman Tredarius Brown at Natchitoches, Louisiana, bringing some big size and some speed up front for these boys. So it's really good to see. So anything y'all got on that? Anything you want to comment on as far as the signing class goes? I know this doesn't really,
Did
it's not
we
really.
did we lose anybody?
We did not
I didn't
lose
remember
anybody.
seeing.
No, we
I didn't
gained
remember
one
seeing any.
person. We have 26 commits this year, which is great. 5 4-star guys and 21 3-star guys, which is really good to see, man. I mean, because the days of having like 18 guys, 19 guys just commit. I mean, it's we've come a long way since then. So yeah, I got some really good talent coming here.
Man, we used to be JUCO U for a minute there, I will say.
Under Cliff. There was one year in particular he got like 7 or 8 JUCO guys, which is fine.
Yeah,
That's how you get age. That's how you get age on your team.
experience.
So.
Yeah, for sure. But it's just you like to see these talent already being, I guess, solidified, and you can see the potential right away. Late
Absolutely.
bloomers are cool, man. But I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, Trevor Lawrence. Huh? That's crazy. Homie came out like at 19, just gunslinging. It's wild, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he was the number one quarterback in the country
Oh.
for a while.
I mean, it just blows my mind every time when it's just these young dudes like that come out and they go to the big name schools. And then here's Tech. But that's okay. We're QBU because Patty Mahomes finna win a second one.
He is. He is. I'm really excited. We'll get to that Super Bowl matchup in just
Yeah, I'm getting ahead of
a
myself.
second. So yeah. You got any comments, Nesto?
Nah, I feel like everything that's been said has been said already. That needed to be said at least.
I hear, man. Let's go ahead and just move right on up
Goddamn
into
Cliff
the
Kingsbury.
Thailand Kingsbury.
Gosh.
Let's not
Homie got
get
fired too.
too off topic. Yeah, he did, man. That was like 9 months after signing an extension. It was crazy. Weird. But let's go ahead and get to the Big 12 schedules that just dropped. So Texas Tech finally got their Big 12 schedule for the 2023 football season. Let's go ahead and break it down for you. I don't know if you guys have this pulled up. Pull it up if you do not. So opening up, we already knew the 3 non-conference games that we were having this year, which was Wyoming, Oregon, and Tarleton State. Play our first game up there in Laramie, Wyoming. I believe we actually have a losing record against Wyoming all time, but I think that goes back to the days of like the 1940s, 1930s era where we were playing Wyoming. So yeah, it'd be a good time to really even up that series and to maybe just take over one. So yeah, got to play the Cowboys up there in Wyoming. Week 1 should be a dub. Good road test for these younger guys. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. And then the next game, Oregon, which is where the boys are going to be at. I'm really looking forward to that game. I don't know about y'all, man, but I'm really looking forward to that. We haven't solidified it yet, but I'm pretty sure we're going to all be up there. Is that correct, Nesto and Zuni?
For the Oregon game,
Yes, sir.
I mean, I I have to check my schedule, move some things around. Gotta check my calendar.
8 months
But
away.
yeah, I plan on being there. Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, I'd love to go to an Oregon game. I hope Oregon gives us some cool uniforms. The only reason I like them, to be honest with you.
That's a
And the
good way to make the
Ducks.
name for themselves, man.
I mean, the mascot is pretty fun too, man. Can't lie. The
The Duck.
Ducks. It really is. Come on now. So yeah, I'm down for sure.
Nesto?
Uh, I'm down to go, but I mean September is such a ways from now. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and say yes. I will be
Book it,
trying
man. Book it.
to.
Just book that day. And then after Oregon, they kind of go their little FCS route. I'm tired of scheduling FCS opponents. I really am. I
Why?
understand the necessity. I mean, I understand the necessity. Like, hey, it's a tune-up game before, especially where they're located at before you get into conference play. And
Mhm.
these FCS schools are more than happy to take these games against us because we do pay them quite a bit of money. I'm pretty sure Charlton State's going to walk out with around $450,000, so around that. So they're more than happy to take this, but I'd rather not schedule any more FCS opponents, especially not new FCS opponents like Tarleton State. They were D2 and then jumped up to FCS a couple years back, so won't even know how good they are.
Hey man, look, yeah, we are paying for a dub. Just keep it real, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with it. You gotta look for whatever reason. If we're 0-2 by that point, which I don't think we should be, but for whatever reason, you need a pick me up to tell your offense that they're still good and your defense as well. So so you might not like it, but I feel like one of them is always welcome. Should always. I mean, who was it this past season? It was Murray State, right? That
Murray
was
State. Yep.
come on. You need to pick me up. They had me fooled. I really thought I was going to see that kind of performance all season long. Instead, we saw more defense performance. If anything, they also
Yeah.
punted more in that game. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. But yeah, that's cool, man. Tarleton State, let's bring it.
Tarleton from Stephenville, going to
Oh
Lubbock.
yeah, ain't that where Albert went to? I think so. My buddy Albert for like 1 year, maybe.
Another part of the A&M school system that kind of fall underneath that A&M umbrella, similar to a Angelo State and Midwestern State fall under the Texas Tech umbrella. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then we open up conference play at West Virginia up there in Morgantown. Should be a dub. We haven't lost to West Virginia in 4 years. Until I see it, I think we're gonna take that dub. Come out of Morgantown with the dub. So yeah, come back home, start off conference play on a hot note, then play Houston. I know Houston's coming back up to Lubbock, where we're gonna see Donovan Smith lead the Houston Cougars back on a field he used to call home. Play for the other
Yeah, this
team
should be a
though.
fun
On the other
one.
sideline
Should be a fun storyline.
should be a fun one. Gonna be a big storyline there. Yeah, I don't really have any hate for Donovan Smith at all. I have no animosity towards him whatsoever. There's, like I said, there's only one game I don't want him to ball out in, and that is against Texas Tech. So, but I think Texas Tech has that one. I can definitely see Texas Tech come out the win against Houston. Then play at Baylor in Waco. I gotta give Baylor some respect. With that being said, though, gonna come out the dub. And then Kansas State. Now, Kansas State is a good team. That we are 0-6 the last 6 meetings. We haven't won again. Well, beat them at all But I think it is good that we kind of preserve that not rivalry, but that game against Kansas State. I think it's just kind of definitely two opposite ends of the spectrum whenever these two get together on the field. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it
I really
is.
like that we get to keep that with Kansas State. And then play a newcomer in BYU. Now I know I said newcomer. I know Houston's a newcomer to the Big 12, but I mean we've played Houston 4 times in the last 6 years. You know, they're not really new to us. We know what they're
Same
about. We know
thing.
what they bring to the table,
Would
everything.
you say we have a rivalry with Houston at this point,
I think we
guys?
do, man. I mean
I
it's
think we do
Southeast
as
Texas
well.
versus Northwest Texas. You know what I mean? So they're both red. Houston steals a lot of our players that transfer. Yeah, I'd say it is quite a bit of a rivalry. But we don't lose to Houston though. We don't lose to Houston.
Last year,
Except last year.
I said we almost did last
Oh
year.
yeah, I was
Oh, we
about to
almost
say. I
did.
was like,
Yeah,
we
got real
didn't.
close, but we didn't though. We
The
didn't.
Funny
fourth,
enough, wasn't
fourth
that
and
off of a Donovan Smith, a nice little jump around little
Yes.
pass on that
Mhm.
fourth and
No,
four?
he ran it in. He ran it for a touchdown.
Oh well, there was during that drive. I think there was like a fourth
It
and
was like
four
fourth
where he like
and
Oh yeah,
and
it
he
was the
like
overtime before. There was a 4th and 20 or like a fourth and
yeah,
19, and he threw for
something like
20 yards and stuff. Like, yeah, that was
yeah.
crazy. I was like, what the hell just happened? But yeah, and then now he's playing for the other team.
We need a good name for this for the Houston rivalry. I don't know. Well, battle of the Bloods. No, no. I mean
What?
the
Just
Blood
the red
Reds,
team?
bro.
I don't know,
The
man.
red
I don't
team. I
know.
don't know.
battle. Blood.
So, but
Well, that's
that's
the
just
thing.
what
You
I'm
can't
thinking.
think too hard on it. It's got to just come naturally. If a
Got it.
rivalry name just needs to come naturally to you.
I guess so. Huh?
But yeah, getting into BYU, first newcomer. I don't really know what to make of them as an opponent, BYU, because typically they're either really good or they're kind of, middle of the pack. So I'm not really entirely sure what to make of BYU. I think we'll know more about them as we get closer to playing them. And then we get TCU at home after that. TCU, that's on a Thursday game too. So the next week we get the bye week, get the Halloween weekend bye. And we play TCU at home on a Thursday night in the Jones, which should be hopefully a good game. The last 2 times we played TCU have not been good games on Texas Tech's part, but
Mhm.
hopefully this year it really gets turned around. Hopefully they're still on a national championship high. They're on a hangover from that, so be good
And
to catch
it
them
could be a
sleeping.
completely different team too by that point. They could be
Yeah, they
like a
will be.
middle of the
They
road.
definitely will be. Then you go on the road to play at Kansas, play the Jayhawks on the road. Should be another dub, another really turn in the corner here. I really feel like this year Kansas turned that corner. They are, they're looking to have a lot more success under Lance Leipold. I know Jalen Daniels is coming back as a quarterback for them this next year. So Kansas should be not an opponent we want to sleep on, to say the least. And then we get UCF at home for a final home game on senior night. Once again, not really entirely sure what to make of UCF. I know Gus Malzahn is a really good coach. So we'll see what kind of team they dish out this year in this new conference. So once again, we'll know more about them as we get closer to playing them. And then we end the season on the road at Texas because Texas just refuses to ever play on the road during Thanksgiving weekend. I hate that. They always they're always at home. Why is that game always at home for Texas? Why can't you play on the road?
It's
Just a bunch of
tradition,
lazy
man.
ass bitches. That's what they are.
It's gonna be funny when we beat them, right?
So yeah, kind of looking at this schedule, guys. What's your initial reaction, and what do you think our record could be? We'll start with you, Zune.
Honestly, I kind of like how everything's spaced out. Like, there's winnable games in between all of them, and then there's some where like could be a toss up. Like I'm looking at TCU, right? Like we could potentially beat BYU that previous week, and we could also like lose to Kansas State that previous week. So we could be matching our wins like pretty much up into the end of the season, and that's good. But I don't know, man. It's really hard to tell. We're gonna have 4 new opponents essentially that are coming in. Well, I guess 3, but you never really want to sleep on Houston. And well, yeah, I don't know. It's too early to tell because a lot of these teams will be completely different by the time, especially in Big 12 action towards the latter half of the season. We could get a Texas team that's rolling, because they always have talent. So you never know. They could just pop out a season where they're already like 7-3 at that point. So we could catch them like that, or we could catch a really shitty Texas team that's already gone like 4-6. But I don't know. Too early to tell. I am happy though with it. It is going to be a fun one. Sucks that we don't play Oklahoma, but I guess we can say the last time we played Oklahoma was we won.
Yeah, it's actually what I was going to get to. So the four teams we do not play are the Oklahoma schools, Oklahoma or Oklahoma State, Iowa State, and Cincinnati. Those are the four schools we don't play this next year. I was kind of surprised that we don't play either of the Oklahomas, but instead we switch out with the Kansases. So I think this kind of, I don't know if that works out in our favor necessarily. I think those two are really good teams, and we don't play them this year, so it kind of goes a little bit in our favor.
Yeah, for
As
sure.
far as schedule goes, but as far as schedule toughness goes, I'd much rather have those two involved in some facet. But looking at the schedule, Nesto, let's get to you, man. What do you think about the schedule?
When I guess when I look at the schedule, I see like the ceiling possibly being 9-3. I think that's like the best case scenario. And when you see like you have like TCU and BYU and that Kansas State, BYU, TCU, that 3-game slate so like weird, I guess, because you have two teams that for sure are going to be tough, and then you have BYU that you don't know what to expect. So I feel like that might like make or break the season, just that 3 games right there. At that point, I don't see us going any worse than 6-6. So yeah, I
Yeah,
feel
that's a
like
bowl game.
somewhere between. Yeah, I just don't see us going anywhere below 6-6.
Yeah, I agree with you there, man. When I look at this, I could definitely see. Well, I'll put it this way: I don't think there's a game that we couldn't win. I don't look at this as I mean, Oregon's gonna be tough. That one's gonna be a tough matchup, but I think we can beat them. You get them at home, you can win that
Yeah.
game. Texas is gonna be tough, especially on the road, but we don't really know what they're gonna look like this next year. So they're losing, plus they lose Roshan Johnson and Bijan Robinson, the two biggest playmakers from last year, and DeMar Overshown on defensive side. So we don't really know what they're gonna look like this coming year. I don't think there's an opponent that we can't beat. Now, there's going to be really tough opponents, and we're probably going to lose some games we shouldn't. But on the flip side of that, we're probably going to win some games we shouldn't. So
In true
I could
Texas
definitely see
Tech
this
fashion.
being what's that?
I said in true Texas Tech fashion.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Gosh.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a game. I don't see an automatic L on here, if you'll put it that way. I think we can definitely beat all the opponents that we play, especially with the guys that we return this next season. So I can definitely see our ceiling perhaps being 10-2, and I can see the floor possibly being maybe 7-5. I'd say 7-5 is kind of on the lower end of what we can do with this schedule. So and I just think with every person that you brought back this past year, all the experience that you have, the depth that you've created, the new culture that you've installed, I can definitely see it being more towards that 10-win mark. So maybe that's just the positivity of me coming out, because I haven't really been excited about Tech football in a long time. And this past year, having, a moderate amount of success might have gotten me to drink the Kool-Aid. I don't know, but I really do believe in this team.
You heard it here first. Jonah Young said we're going 12-0, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, 12-0, man.
CFB.
Book it here,
we're
man.
in the CFB
you heard it here first. We're going to go 12-0, win the Big 12, and get in the playoff, and really make a name for ourselves.
Touching on that Oklahoma statement though earlier, if there was ever a season for it to possibly happen, this is could be one of them. If I'm being honest with you, because both Oklahoma teams usually show up more or less, right? And we would have had them at their field this year, I believe. So
yeah, we would have played OU in Norman. We would have had Oklahoma State in Lubbock though.
What do we would have had a Cowboy. Regardless though, they play us pretty well in Lubbock, man.
They do.
So they do. They play us a lot better than a Kansas State or a Kansas does. So I agree with you earlier. This is probably 12-0. Yeah. So we got it.
That game against
We got it.
Texas, going to that one, Jonah, or what?
I most likely will. Yeah, I think maybe the game in Baylor too up there in McLean. I might go to that one as well.
Yeah, I was looking at both of those. I think for sure I'm gonna go to that game in Texas and Austin.
Yeah, make a trip, man.
Oh God,
Booking
that
these dates, bro.
traffic. Good old traffic, Austin. Did y'all lose any power today in Austin? No, that's good.
But yeah, so that's gonna kind of wrap up our schedule matchup there. You know, I definitely think this does favor Texas Tech, and we'll definitely see, man. Getting really excited about the our new opponents we play this year. So that said, boys, for one of our favorite segments we like to do here, our good vibes vibe of the week. That is correct. Zuni, do you want to kick us off, man, or do you want me to?
Yeah, I got you, man. So this morning, right?
Zuni,
This morning I woke up, decided, it's my day off. I'm gonna clean my home a little bit. It's cleaning day, right? And about midway through the clean, I started to get a little grumble in my stomach. And I have a little bit of this leftover, meat, potatoes and stuff. It's still in my skillet, still seasoned and everything. It was delicious. Had some Parmesan on it. So my good vibes vibe of the week is actually going to go to my HEB flour tortilla because I threw that leftover meat in that buttery flour tortilla and it was just delicious. That's my good vibe of the week, boys. That's it.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. I like that. Nesta, you got one, man?
Yeah, for sure. My vibe of the week this week is prime strawberry watermelon flavor. That's delicious right there. I love it.
Watermelon.
Really
Prime?
good. Yes,
Prime?
bro. Prime strawberry watermelon flavor. Try it. It's really.
Is that a drink? Prime?
Yeah, you've never heard of Logan Paul's and KSI's Prime?
Oh,
No.
yes, I have heard of the drink, but I've never seen it. And I've never
Really?
seen it.
Bro,
Yeah,
they sell
really.
it over here at HEB.
Do they?
Yeah, it's
I
everywhere.
might have to. I might have to go to HEB. Yeah, I just seen
Bro.
that they got signed to UFC. Yeah.
So like Body Armor, right? How it's kind of like coconut water.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's kind of like that, but it's just like it's not like a really sugary drink. I think it has like 2 grams of sugar, but like it tastes really good. Like I don't know how to explain it. You just have to try it.
I'm about it. I for sure. If it's at an HEB, I might have to run to the HEB today. The one in
No,
Lubbock.
yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna try it. Hey, even that boy Kevin from Shark Tank said it wasn't shit. I remember seeing a clip of it. So yeah, prime watermelon. That's the go-to.
They also have energy drinks.
Nice.
So
Might try one.
If you're an energy drink, type of person, try it out. It's pretty good.
I do dabble on that side of the fence. I do.
Nice. So
prime energy drink.
So we got HEB flour tortillas and strawberry watermelon drink flavored KSI.
Prime.
Okay.
Like Amazon Prime, but just the Prime.
Yeah,
gotcha.
No Jeff Bezos.
Awesome. So my good vibe of the week is over the last couple of days, it's been kind of icy here in Austin. Some of the roads been shut down, school's been shut down, which is really nice in Texas. When like just you get a little bit of ice in, starts to be drops below 31 to shut down the whole city. I like that.
Freaks out.
And so I'm just kind of stuck at home, not really doing much. I figure like I could be a little productive. I'm gonna go and clean. So I cleaned up around my room, clean up the bathroom, all that kind of stuff. And like when you're like, because my room, my bathroom's just a mess. So I'm like, okay, gonna clean all this up today, scrub it down, get nice and clean, do some deep cleaning involved in that. And I recently found a pair of sunglasses while I was cleaning that I've been looking for probably 3 months now at this point, and I could not find. So my good vibe of the week is when you're cleaning your room and you find something that you've been missing for a long, long time. For me, it was a pair of sunglasses, and I'm so happy that I finally found these. So yes, that is my good vibe of the week.
Sweet. Rekindle love. I see.
Exactly.
Your love was rekindled for your glasses. That's sweet, bro. I'm so happy for you.
Appreciate
Where did
it,
you think you had lost it though? Out of curiosity, did you just think you lost it at a game or something, or at
Bro,
a party?
I lose sunglasses like crazy, man. Like I can never keep a pair of sunglasses for more than maybe a couple months. I just naturally lose them like that. I don't know how. It's the same thing with socks for me. Like I always have to buy a new pair like freshly like packaged box of socks. Like I'm talking like 12 different pairs of socks at once because I'll lose them in like 6 months.
How
They
does
will
that
never.
happen, John?
I don't know. I've been
Actually, I
wondering. This
do.
happened my whole life. I've been
No,
wondering like, how the hell do I keep
I
losing
have the
socks?
answer for you. I'm not gonna throw your dirty laundry out there. Let's just say that I was Jonah's roommate for a good amount of time, and I know exactly how this dude loses his socks. But that's neither
How
here
do I do
nor
that?
there. You, bro, you let the couch eat your socks every time. You pass out on the go check your couch, Jonah. I bet you're gonna have like
I guarantee there's
two
no
or three
socks on my
pairs of socks.
couch.
There were plenty when we lived together. They were always your socks, bro.
Always in the damn couch.
Me and Tyler would make a joke
Lost a
about
lot
it
of
all
good
the time.
soldiers there. But let's
Me.
not talk about my socks anymore. Let's move on to Texas Tech basketball. So finally, some positive news to report here. We have won 2 games in a row, boys. That's right. We ended that 8-game losing streak in conference play, and we finally got it in the Big 12 SEC Challenge against LSU Tigers. Texas Tech wins on the road in Baton Rouge, 76-68, with big performances from Kevin O'Banner, who had 22 points, 0 assists, 4 rebounds in 36 minutes played. Kerwin Walton really showing up, man. This dude has really been has really made his presence felt on the court over the last few games. He had 17 points, 0 assists, 1 rebound in 21 minutes played. Followed by Davion Harmon, 14 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds in 34 minutes. Bacho had 8 points, 2 assists, 7 rebounds. And then I want to give a shout out to Elijah Fisher in this game as well. Come off the bench with 5 points, 0 assists, and 9 rebounds. He was really kind of a menace on the defensive end. I really like what Elijah Fisher brings to the table. So I don't know if you guys got to watch this game at all, but if you did, if you didn't, just kind of let me know your thoughts. Let's start with you, Zuni.
Yeah, for sure. So I was keeping up with some of the LSU game, and everyone was doing really nice that game. It was good to get a win, even if it wasn't in conference play. And I touched on it a little bit, and I don't remember which podcast, might have been this previous one, but besides the Big 12, the SEC is the best. Other best as far as basketball goes. They're the best conference after the Big 12, in my opinion. It's probably not that much of a debate at this point, but yeah, LSU is a good team, and it was sick to beat 2 ranked opponents back to back, so I was able to catch a little bit of that one. Funny enough, the Iowa State game where we make the comeback, I seen the halftime score and I went to bed. I work in the morning, guys. I was like, well, there's another one. And I woke up to great news. So yeah, everyone's been doing better. The team's actually starting to look a bit like a team. We're playing cohesively together. Shout out to Davion Harmon, because honestly, I think if that man gets hurt at any point during the season, our offense is going to take a huge toll, because he's really kind of that slashing point guard this season. You know what I mean? I really don't see anyone else that's really driving into the paint, trying to create fouls and shots for himself, and just lanes for other teammates as well. So yeah, if that guy goes down, I know Pop Isaacs is. We'll get him back, but
yeah, he's down as well.
He's down as well. So we can't survive if Davion goes down too, man. That's really how I'm looking at it. But I'm super stoked that we have 2 wins. It feels like forever since it's been goddamn months now, boys. I've been itching for what I've been struggling.
Itching for it, man.
I've been feeding
for a win.
But yeah, super stoked to see that. Let's just keep it rolling, because I mean, the Big 12 is still a gauntlet. Who knows? We could maybe sneak our way into a tourney. Might not be the big one, but maybe. It
was NIT.
We're gonna win the
honestly, I was really against probably making the NIT, just because I don't know how much more basketball I want to see this team play. But so far, man, we've gotten two dubs. Nesta, let's go to you, man. What were your thoughts on these? Let's start with the LSU one, but what were your thoughts on that one?
I didn't get to watch any of the games.
No,
but that's by design.
Tough.
By design.
By design, you just kind of checked out.
Well,
I can't blame him.
He said, "You have to earn my respect, boys." That's basically what Nesta was saying.
No, every time I watch the season, we lose. So I have this weird superstition that I was like, if I don't watch any of it, maybe we'll win. And when we beat LSU, I was like, because I still keep track of the game through my ESPN app.
Yeah.
And when we won, I was like, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the culprit. So I saw the score against Iowa State, and I was like, okay, maybe I should start watching again because maybe it wasn't me. And then I didn't watch any of it, and we won it. So, needless to say, I'm not gonna be watching anymore.
Yeah, which by the way, the Iowa State game, that is the largest comeback in Texas Tech school history, down 23 points, came back to win this game. Just an incredible performances by Kevin O'Banner once again. He's really kind of come on the scene. There were times this year where I'm thinking like,
My
why is
God,
Kevin
bro.
O'Banner a starter? Why is he not coming off the bench? To be honest with you, why is he not being that sixth man for us? But he really has kind of stepped up his last couple games, and he ended up with 24 points, 1 assist, 13 rebounds, 42 minutes played. We went to overtime. Texas got the win over ISU, 80-77 in overtime. Of course, Davon Harmon really went off as well. 16 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds in 36 minutes. Jalen Tyson making his presence known. 11 points, 2 assists, 9 rebounds on 36 minutes. And I want to give a shout out to these two guys, Lamar Washington, Robert Jennings. Lamar with 8 points, 1 assist, 1 rebound, and 26 minutes played. And Robert Jennings with 6 points, 0 assists, and 1 rebound as well, man. Those guys really made impact on the court. We started rebounding a lot better in this past couple games as well. Not to say we've necessarily been out rebounding the other opponent, because I believe LSU, we actually had the same number of rebounds. And against Iowa State actually out rebounded us by 1. So that kind of goes to show just how poorly we were at rebounding this whole year and how much better we've really gotten to it. One thing that really kind of the Iowa State just did not have an answer for when I was watching the game was that full court press that we did, kind of similar to what West Virginia has been accustomed to doing the last, however many years, being the press Virginia, if you will. That's what we did to Iowa State. They just did not have an answer for that. They were not expecting that at all from us. And one of their point guards, like Caleb Grill, who had 24 points, all of them were threes. All of them were threes. He didn't have a single point that was a 2 bucket. He did not have any of that. They were all threes, just daggers, man. They were just so upset. 8 threes that way, man. It was crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, these guys really show that they had a lot of heart, a lot of passion left in them. They were fighting for this win, fighting for that first conference dub, and it came. And this just really goes to show that there are no off nights in the Big 12. Texas Tech is the worst team in basketball, and we just upset the 13th ranked team in the country in Iowa State. There are no off nights here. This is the toughest basketball conference in the country. So it kind of begs the question, where do we go from here? I think it could be one of 2 ways that we go. I think it could be like, okay, we got lucky, and then we might luck out and get another win down the road somewhere, maybe one more against a weaker opponent like Oklahoma State. And we kind of end with maybe, I don't know, 4 to 5 conference wins. It could be that way. Or my friends, this could be the biggest turnaround in Texas Tech basketball history, in mid-season turnaround that we've ever seen for. We could go on a run. We could potentially, we have Baylor this weekend. We got to play Baylor in Waco this weekend. The 11th ranked team in the country. We could go in there. We can upset them. We upset them last year when they were the first ranked team in the country. Why would we not do that again this year? Who's to say that's out of the question this year? Mm-hmm. And then as far as the other games on the slate, let me pull that up. So yeah, then we play Oklahoma State finally. We haven't played Oklahoma State at all this year. We play them in Stillwater. They're having kind of a, middle of the pack year. I think with the teams we would have beaten at that point, potentially could be a dub. We could potentially sweep Oklahoma State. We finally get even with Oklahoma. We get even with West Virginia, get even with Texas, get even with Kansas State. By the way, Texas, Kansas State are both at home again. So this could potentially be a large turnaround here for this program. Mm-hmm. And I know I've said on this podcast before, like, I don't blame if you're checking out. I don't blame if you want to check out in the season at all at this point. But if we start to come back, of course, you're going to see a lot more fans kind of start to come back around, kind of start to be like, oh, I never doubted this team. Like, no, you did. You're just here for the good times. You're just here for the good vibes. I can't blame you for that either. But I'm not going to sit here and, be a liar. Like, I'm going to say, like, hey, look, yes, I was about ready to check out on this team, like many of us were. I'm still going to watch. I'm still going to support for eventually that first win, at least, first conference win, because there's no way we're going 0-18 in conference play. Like, I refuse to believe that, and we're not.
We're not even going 1-17. Let me just point that out there. This wasn't our last win in conference play. I'm just saying.
I'll say that too, man. I'll say that too. So yeah, I think this could potentially be a large turnaround coming in, because every win that we would have in conference play would be against a quad one opponent. So, because you play in the toughest basketball conference in the country, so every win you get is a quad one opponent, is against a quad one opponent. And let's say we go into the Big 12 tournament, we get a win we're not supposed to. We get maybe 2 wins in the tournament. We end up playing for a tournament title. You think they're going to keep us out of the big dance because of that? I don't think so.
Nah.
I don't think so, man. So when you guys hear that, do you guys think we could potentially, have a turnaround? Do you guys agree with me? Do you guys disagree? What's kind of your thought process when you let's start with you?
I've been saying this since the beginning of the season when we went, 0-3, 0-4. Like it's a gauntlet. It's a one game at a time, and it's really about just building team chemistry. If we could build that, then we could stack some wins. I say we've done that the past 2 games. Who's to say we can't keep it rolling? And to be honest with you, I mean, this is kind of like, I guess, the turning point for our program. If we pull off that, then we're solidifying ourselves as a top program in college basketball, in my opinion. If we go down that route. What about you, Nesta? What do you think?
Man, I've said it before. You get 2 wins in a row, anything's possible. You start building momentum, and momentum is something that it can't be stopped till it's stopped. It's one of those things.
It's infectious.
So that being said, I mean, man, I hope and I kind of feel like we're heading towards that direction of, putting on a series of wins, but it all starts with Baylor. You need to win that one first.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough one out there in Waco. I would say, like, at this point, there's not a single game more important than the next game. You know what I mean? Like, just look one game ahead, play one game at a time, and just focus on getting a dub against them. So that's all I'm gonna say about moving forward. But yeah, I do believe this team could still potentially make some noise and kind of get out of that basement spot in the Big 12 right now. So, because I mean, I'm looking at some of these bracketologists from, especially like from Joe Lenardi, who has they have like 9 teams deep from the Big 12 to go to the tournament potentially. The only one left out, I think, is Texas Tech, and the opponent up next will be West Virginia. He has them in the first 4 out. So this conference could potentially put 9 teams in the Big 12. Will we be that 9th team? That's kind of up to us to decide. We can only control what we can at this point. You control your own destiny at this point. So that's all I'm gonna say about that as well. And I know you were talking a little bit about Davion Harmon, man. He was really that spark that ignited that comeback win against Iowa State. I will say, just the way he was passing it, the way that he was, just driving to the bucket, like enforcing his will. Like, he was gonna get his. He just had such a good drive to that bat. Like no, you're not stopping him, not getting this way. And if you are, it's gonna be a foul and it's gonna get an and one. Like, that was his mentality, and that's the mentality that I think the rest of the team started to bring themselves. Like, hey, look, we're gonna get ours, and you can try to stop us, but you're gonna get fouled, and we're gonna get some and ones out of it. So. That's all I gotta say. Moving on in the show here. Hold on. Yeah, so that's where I think we really ultimately go from here. But moving on. So still got some football left to be played here in February. The boy Patrick Mahomes ended up beating Joey B in Burrowhead Stadium.
Burrowhead.
And on a last second field goal to win the game. So yeah, the boy Patrick Mahomes did it with just one ankle. He don't need 2 ankles to be good, man. He don't need it. He wanted to make the game interesting, so he decided to purposely hurt himself in order to be a closer game. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And,
yeah.
They got the dub. Gonna go to the Super Bowl now to face the Eagles. So kind of hear it from now, man. What's y'all's Super Bowl analysis on the Chiefs Eagles? And just go from there. We'll start with you, Zuni.
Chiefs Eagles. To be honest with you, I thought it was gonna be the Bengals and Eagles just because of the high ankle. But yeah, no, I'm happy either way, to be honest, because Jalen Hurts is a good dude, and yeah, that's really my take on it.
It's the wrong answer.
I guess
that's the wrong answer. No, you got to be all in on Mahomes to get the Super Bowl.
Hey, Patrick wins the Super Bowl. Sweet, bro. Sweet. It's just solidifying his legacy. And I'm telling you, TTU is QBU now. Tyler Shuck, he's gonna be a second round pick in his, once he declares. I'm calling it now.
Whoa.
No, I'm joking. Yeah, that's kind of a wild take. No, but
What if
that's
though,
kind of how
man?
I
What
feel.
if?
What if? Yeah, but I'm honestly happy either way because Jalen Hurts, like I said, I like him. I like his character. That's a stand up
Yeah,
guy.
there are two Texas Tech Red Raiders playing in this Super Bowl. You got Patrick Mahomes, of course, and you got Zach McPherson, the corner for the Eagles. He's a backup corner for the Eagles right now. So get two of them playing the Super Bowl, and also with the Kelsey brothers, with Travis Kelsey and Jason Kelsey going against each other. I have not listened to the past episode of their podcast that they do, but I'm really interested in seeing it and to see where to kind of see who gets bragging rights over each other.
Someone's gonna have a ring above the other.
Exactly. What about you, Nesto? What do you got?
Well, I don't want to sound too biased because I'm a Cowboys fan and they just hate the Eagles. So
That's good enough reason. That's a good enough reason.
I mean, hey, Zuni,
I hate
rocking the
Philly
Cowboys shirt?
fans, dude.
I
Philly
do.
fans are fucking atrocious. That's why I don't
Man,
want them to. That's why I ultimately don't want the Eagles to win. It's because Philly fans.
I tell everybody about that. I'm like, all right, bet we need to go to a game to Philadelphia so you can really experience why I don't like them.
Why this is?
I've seen so many TikToks of people are going to
Yeah.
the stadium and Eagles fans are just
Booed
like
when they
"Fuck."
entered.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Fans are atrocious,
Crazy.
dude.
But
City of brotherly love.
realistically, I think that the Eagles have a good run game. Enough where Jalen Hurts doesn't really have to throw efficiently, I guess you could say. Like he just needs to make a couple of dink and dots here for them to just, have enough separation to win the game. So Eagles offense is going to be hard for the Chiefs to stop, but the Chiefs do have like a sneaky good defense. Like no one's going to go home and say, man, Chiefs defense is the top defense in the league, or top 5 or any of that matter. But they are opportunistic and they do have a good run defense. Big Chris Jones in the middle of that D line. It's kind of hard to, go through that force. That being said, Mahomes got 2 weeks to get healthier. He's only going to get better mobility. Same with Travis Kelsey. I know he's a little bit banged up. He's kind of questionable there against the Bengals. My official prediction is Chiefs 38, Eagles 30. I think they both score a lot of points. Opportunistic turnovers for both teams. But yeah, I just can't root for the Eagles. I really can't. Shout out Jalen Hurts though, because I like Jalen Hurts. He was a Cowboys fan growing up, so I can't hate on the guy too much. He's just not a Cowboy.
Y'all could have drafted him.
Could have. I know what could have been. Trust me, I like Dak's story and everything about Dak, but sometimes you just need to see production on the field, and when you don't get that, it's frustrating.
Oh, as a Jets fan, I understand.
and then now you're hearing about extending Dak because of his cap space.
You already did extend him.
No, but they want to extend him more to clear more cap space for the next year.
They want to back end his contract.
Okay.
So they give him so they give him like 10 mil this year, and they're gonna give him like 60 in 3 years from now. On 1 year.
Which is.
Could you imagine paying that much
contract?
60, 65. Might be guaranteed too, but that's logistics, man.
And we don't have Kellen Moore anymore.
Thank God.
Good.
How did we're talking about the Super Bowl here. We're not doing the analysis of Dallas Cowboys, boys.
That's true. I'm not a Cowboys fan. I'm a Saints fan, but we finally got a first round pick with the Sean Payton trade, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, the Super Bowl matchup, getting to it, I think on paper, Philadelphia has every advantage they could possibly have. They got better run game, they have better run defense, better passing defense, better healthier receiving core, a healthier defensive back core. I think on paper they have ultimately the better team. However, games are not won on paper. They're won on the gridiron. They're won on that field clanking pads together, hitting each other. They're one in the trenches ultimately. And so, which team's going to rise up? Which team is going to play a lot grittier? I think on paper, the Bengals were a lot better than the Chiefs, and a lot of people had the Bengals winning that game. Chiefs proved them wrong. Mahomes only needs one ankle to be elite, and he showed that. He also showed that he can win without his top 3 receivers being like, well, Mecole Hardman ended up leaving the game, Juju Smith-Schuster ended up leaving the game. Who was the other guy?
Travis wasn't
Marcus
100%.
Valdez-Scantling, who, by the way, Aaron Rodgers couldn't win with. I had to leave the game. You're playing with Sky Moore as your leading receiver. Travis Kelce, of course, was still there, but even he was banged up in that game. And he was questionable to go that game with the back injury. And so
even have your
virtually
starting
no
running back,
help
guys.
in the run game with Jerick McKinnon and Isaiah Pacheco. So, and they ultimately won that game against the Bengals. I think they had the tougher road to get to the Super Bowl than the Eagles did. I mean, Eagles, yeah, I know the 49ers are a really good team, but you had to play the Giants to get there first. Okay, Giants were kind of mid-team, beat a fraudulent Vikings team that we all knew were frauds. And then they end up going to Philadelphia, get demolished. San Francisco comes in with their 3rd-string quarterback, who goes down with an injury, has to put the 4th-string quarterback, just really limited the playbook. He goes down in that game. All you can do is run the ball. I just think the Chiefs have been challenged more. I think they're more battle-tested, so I think the Chiefs are going to win.
Not to mention that Eagles have the easiest schedule in the NFL this year, so.
It did, and the Chiefs did not. Chiefs really had a grind, especially playing the AFC West too. That's no easy feat. So, that'll kind of do it for our talk today. You guys got any trivia for Mizuni or?
I got a little trivia question, but it's not sports related. Well, it's not trivia. It's more of a fun fact. Sorry. Did y'all know cheetahs can't roar?
They meow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
meow
like
that.
that.
Like,
I didn't know that.
They just meow. Damn, Jonah, you got me. God, what doesn't this guy know?
So Tyreek Hill meows.
This guy. I see what you did there. See what you did.
He don't got that dog in him. But yeah. Any final thoughts, guys? Any shout outs you want to give before we wrap this one up?
Oh yeah, shout out my cat.
Hell yeah.
No. Yeah, shout out my cat. So that's it for me. Just him. Screw the family. Yeah.
What about you, Nesto?
Shout out my dog Luna. American Bully.
Awesome. I'm gonna shout out alcohol because it's no longer dry January. That was a rough one to get through, man. So I just want to shout it out. Shout out Jack Daniels. Shout out Jim Beam. Shout out Terramont Tequila. Shout out Aviation Gin. All that. Yes, I'm back on it, dude.
Jonas said, "I'm back, baby.
I'm back.
Hair on the chest and everything, ladies and gentlemen. You see that sweat on the camera? That's alcohol sweat.
He's doing the muting.
Cam Newton. I'm back. Oh, that's so ugly, man. You weren't back. You weren't. I think his career went down even worse after that. It's funny.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you guys listening. Remember to keep the vibes high and the guns up. For Nathan Zuniga, Ness Martinez, I'm Jonah Young saying so long. See you next time here on the Lone Nerd Podcast.